Okay, so it seems that people are joining now. I can see you writing in the chat. Uh, so what template is that? I will answer. What's going on here? That's a good question. We had some difficulties getting this stream to start. Okay, seems that it's all right. I'm waiting for, yeah, waiting for still everyone to join. Okay, all right. I see people talking in the chat. So we are just on YouTube. We wanted to go on Twitch, but we won't do it this time. That's all right. So let's start now. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining. We wanted to make this live stream, and maybe you joined the previous one already, to show how to make simple features in a starter game. I also want to take the opportunity to answer some questions from the community, or users or power users from the community. So feel free to ask them in the chat, and I can answer some of them while we choose the next thing to do in the game. So what we will do is that we will start using this 3D FPS starter. So let me remove this. That's this starter game. If you are new to GDevelop, you can find these starter games in when you create a new game. There is a bunch of those there, and you can see all of them in the team and in the community. We've created a lot of these templates. So it's always a good idea to check what's available, what you can use, and take inspiration from these. We could have started from something else, like the 3D FPS horror game, but we'll start from the most simple one. Yeah, let's start doing some stuff on this game. There, I will show in a bit a discount code that you can also use to get the yearly subscription for GDevelop, either silver or gold or pro. The reason why is because we are doing, we'll try to use a bit of AI to build features in the game, and I want to show you how it works, and that's something that you can unlock with a subscription. I will also use the product history, which is something you can access there, which is useful to go back, after you've made a change in the game, or if you want to try something else. So the team at GDevelop is moderating the chat, and they will also send me your votes or suggestions or questions. You can go to Twitter on x.com to vote, and the link will be shared multiple times, hopefully, in the chat, and probably in the description of the video. Yes, we've just shared it. So you can go there and vote for what you want us to start doing. I think we have 3 choices. We can start by adding enemies. We can do air jumps and then sprinting for the player. And we can also do the aim down sight for the weapon. So again, this is a template. So if I click on preview there, you can see that it's just the usual default templates, and for now there's I just fell through. So it's a default template, and you can shoot at the little things there. So yeah, let's start. Let's choose what we start with. That was loud. Sorry, I just made my audio less. Yeah. Sorry for the gunshot. I can start changing the sound effect to make it to something very low. There we go. That should be better. All right. So now let's start by adding enemies. I think that will be the simplest. I mean, not the simplest, but the funniest thing to do first. So for this, let me check what we could do. let's add a fun 3D model as the enemies. So let's go for finding this, like let's use a deer, like this deer will be a nice enemy. And I will put it, we put some of those in the game. There we go. There we go. I'm having a 3D editor launched there, so it's easier to see how they look like. I can open them, edit the object, and I can quickly change their center, so it's at the object center, and that should work like this. So if I launch the game, they're not moving, they're just there, chilling in the level. Let's do something with them. So yeah, for this first feature, let's add the 3D physics behavior to them so that they can move, or at least that we can touch them. So I'm just searching for the physics engine and choosing the 3D physics engine. So right now, if I don't change anything, I can simply move them when I'm moving toward them. So simple enough. And I want them to react when the bullets are touching them. So if you look at how the game is created, you can see that there are already some groups there, and there is one called bullet obstacle. And if I go to the events, you can see that there is already some logic to create some effects, visual effects, sparks, when a bullet is touching a bullet obstacle. So to have these effects on the enemy, we just need to add them there in this group, which is what I'm doing now. And if I relaunch the preview, the bullet is of course, these enemies are not known back. They are not moving when a bullet is hitting them, which is the case when I'm hitting these little things there. So let's try to do the same thing. Let me save first, and if I go to the events to get an idea of how it's done, I can see there are some logic applied to knock back the small orange objects. So we will do the same for these new enemies. And for this, I will actually ask the AI to do it for me to see if you can get something that works. So let me pass something there, add a knockback when a deer is hit, and we're telling it to do it like the existing targets, and make it a bit stronger with a force of let's say 0.7 instead of 0.05. And let's get the AI to work on this. So the idea there, if we look at how it's done already, we see that when we're shooting at something, we're looking at the obstacles that are in front of the raycast, of the virtual ray that is shoot from the weapon, and we're creating an impulse, which is kind of a force on the target. And by doing this, we're moving the target. So there we can see that the AI is doing what I've been asking, which is to recreate the same event there, but for the deer, and it's just there, so it just appeared. So yeah, it seems correct. The number of deer currently picked is more than 0. Then we apply an impulse, which looks basically the same, but I just asked it to be a bit stronger because the deer, they are more heavy, they are larger than target. So let's give it a try to see if it works. And if I'm doing it's working. So now if I'm shooting the deer, they're having this knockback effect, which is fairly fun already. Such a simple game. I will continue with enemies because I think that these are not real enemies if they are not moving toward us. So before we make another vote, let me continue to make the enemy move toward the player. So for this, we will probably create a new group in the events where we will handle the enemy movement. For now, we just have these groups for shooting, the mobile controls, and the keyboard controls. And inside, we will apply a force to move the enemies toward the player. And we will also move them so that they look at the player. And all of what I've said, I can also ask the AI to do it. So I can continue working with it. So let me pass something that I've prepared, which is this. It's a fairly small prompt. Well, not that small. When I'm asking it to create what I just said, a new group, add a new event with the apply force so that the enemy is moving toward us. And I'm speaking about the deer, not the target. You have to be very clear with AI if you want something that is exactly what you want. And then to rotate the enemy. Let me launch it, and that's something that you could also do with the face forward extension. So yeah, I know that in the chat we've been asking for something else, but that's okay. Let's still do it for now. That will be done. And that's a fairly small force there. It's true that I've not specified the speed. Let's go for a slightly larger speed. That's actually way too fast because it's a permanent force, and now an instant one. Okay, that's working okay. And they are pushing me away. Perfect. Let me take a break because I decided by myself what we will do next. What should we do now? I will check what the team asked me from what you put in the chat. I'm waiting for having what we should do next, and if there is any questions, if there are any questions, I can answer. What we could do, we could make the enemy jump. So yeah, click the link in chat to vote on the next thing, and we will go again in a few minutes. All right, so what we could do multiple things. We could have the enemies to jump when they are near the player. We could add health to the enemies. We can add health to the player also, so that the player can be hurt, then the player can die, then we can restore the player health, and then we can also make some hit and death effects for the player. We can change the aiming of the gun. So there right now it's just shown on the top right of the screen, but we can also have something so that we are aiming in the middle of the screen when I press a button. And what else could we do? Yeah, we could also add some air jump or sprinting for the player. So what's next? All right, so the next feature that we should do is probably the aim down sights, which means that this we want this weapon to be in the middle of the screen when we are aiming down. So that's something fairly interesting because it's something where we will use variables and twins also to animate this. So let me show you how we can do this. So in the 3D editor, I will select this the weapon, and we will edit the object to create variables that will help us to save its position and rotation in the space, so that we can have the default one, which is its current position, and the position when it's in the middle of the screen. So let me show you. First, first let me create the variables for this. So I'm creating a new object variable, and I will call this positions, and I will make this a structure, and inside I can create a new structure which will be the start position, and I want this to be a structure too, because inside I will save the X position, and I will save actually a bunch of stuff. The X position, the Y position, the Z position, and also the rotation on each axis in space. So I've just created all my variables, and I want to have the default values for them. These variables, they will hold the values that we can see on the screen. So there I've selected the gun object, and you can see there the positions of the object, and it's currently in the start position. So I will now copy paste these positions in the object values. So I'm opening the variable, and I will copy paste them, and because it's a bit long, I could edit it directly on the instance, but I will do it in the object. All right, here we go. So that's it. And then for the rotation, let me double check the rotation. So it's basically 0 everywhere. There is a slight change, but 0 should be fine. Let's double check how it looks like. Yeah, it's fine like this. So right now I've just added these variables. What we want to do now is to move the objects on the screen so that it's in the middle of the screen, and it looks like the result that we want to get. So there we go. It's a bit high, so we can move it in the game until we find a good position. That's better now. That's already better. We can move it a bit to the right, and I'm doing this so that I can then, okay, that's almost perfectly centered. I think it will be enough. So now that we have this new position, we can copy paste this position. You can see that the rotation has not been changing, so just the position will be fine to move. So yeah, let me copy paste and make a new variable inside the gun object. So there I will create a new variable called aiming, and it's also a structure that will have the same thing as before. So I want a X, Y, and Z position, and the X position should be this number, and I will copy paste the others. Whoops, there we go. And that's the same for the last position. And I will add the rotations. I should have copy pasted the variable that would have been faster, but that's fine enough. While this will stay to 0, it will be helpful to slightly rotate the gun if you want to. So if I just do this, for now I've just changed the position of the gun, so it's not changing a lot, right? So now we want to go between one and the other position. So for this, let me add a new group, which we'll call something like aiming, and inside we can add a new event, and we will check if let's use the left key to check if the left control key, is pressed. And if that's the case, we will aim the gun, otherwise we will put it back at the default position. Let's first do it if it's not pressed. So if the left control key is not pressed, then let's put the gun position at its default start value. So we can take the gun and change the X and Y position. And we will set it to the gun positions start X position. And we do the same thing for the Y position and then for the last axis. So we add a new action, we take the gun and we change its Z position. And you will see how it works just after. So I could do this for the rotation too, but let me just do it right now. Let me just try it. So see, it's back at the initial position that we had before, which was the one that we entered previously. And then, if the left control key is pressed, then we can move it to be at the aiming positions. I'm double checking the variables I've created. Oh yeah, I put aiming directly at the root, but I wanted it to be inside positions. So that's better now. So yeah, that's gun, the positions for aiming, and the X position. So these structure variables, they are very useful to keep things organized. And you can access them using this syntax where you put a dot between every name. So you see that I'm not using the rotation, but I will show an example where I'm using the rotation later. So now, if I press the key, you can see that I'm just moving the position. So that's not too complex when you've understood that we're just changing the gun position. So the other thing that we can do is, of course, it's very abrupt as a change. So we will twin this later. So yeah, let's do a last change. I want the camera to zoom when we're aiming, because otherwise it's not helping a lot. See, it's just the same view, it's just the gun that is moving. So to make this a bit better, we can change what is called the field of view, which is the kind of zoom that you have in the 3D world. So when the gun is not aimed, I will use the field of view, which is the default one, and I will set it to 45. So if you don't know about this, you can go in the game scene and you can look at the default base layer. And if you go in the properties, you can see that the default field of view is 45 degrees. So you can try different field of views. We will use this one, and we will use a slightly smaller one to make the zoom effects. We're almost finished, so click the link in the chat to vote for the next mechanics that we are going to build, the next feature. And we'll wait a few minutes before we do it. But just to see the change, you can now see that the view is kind of zooming when I'm pressing the left control key. Okay, this one was hard to get. And we could also add health to those enemies, because for now I'm just knocking them back. But that's super so yeah, taking a bit of a break there. Please do vote on the link that is shared in the chat about what we do next. So player health or sprinting, health of the enemies. We can also smoothly aim and zoom when we are aiming using twins, and yeah, and I will wait for the team to let me know what we should do. And if there are any questions in the meantime, I will check the chat now. Okay, so double check the pinned link if you want to vote on the next feature. And personally, I would like to have some health on the enemies so that we can knock them back. Yeah, I want to remind you that there is this coupon code, which is create_Jan, Jan underscore 2026. So this coupon code, it's a discount code. When you're using it, you're getting 20% off the yearly subscription. Actually, it can work on the monthly subscription, but it's just for the first month. While using the yearly subscription, with the discount code, you get 20% off. And that's useful because you get $10 off on the silver, and that's something like up to $70 off for the pro subscription, which will get you the usual thing from a subscription, which is the access to the AI, the cloud projects. Oh, by the way, let me save this. What else? All the things related to leaderboards, multiplayer, and also the ability to use the product history. So there you can see that my first save when we started the stream is there. And if I made some mistake, I could actually open it and go back at what was the first version of the game there. And just quickly get back to the latest save when I'm done. Or you could also just choose to start again from a previous save, and everything is available there. We are also adding this on the AI panel. So when you're making changes like this, you can choose to restore after something is done. In case something went wrong, that's okay. You can just restore your game to the previous version. So I think that we had enough time. So the next feature is to add air jump and Coyote time. So that will be fairly fast compared to what we did already. Why? Because we have behaviors that are made for this. And that's what I really like with GDevelop, is when you're making an ambitious game, you can create, you can at first use behaviors that are made by the GDevelop core team or by the community, and you can also make your own. We won't make a new behavior during this live stream, but that's something that you could learn to do later. By the way, I'm wondering what the AI would do if I ask it, how can I make some multiple air jumps for my player? There are different ways to do it, so I wonder which one it will tell me. And in the meantime, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do. So there is this Coyote time and air jump for 3D behavior, which is adapted because there is one for 2D, but there we're in the 3D game, and we can add it. So it's if you look at what it's telling you to go in the game scene, to use the player object, to add the behavior to it, and then we can change the number of air jumps. It's also telling you the internal name in case you need it, and yeah, honestly, I could click there on build and just say do it for me, but we will do it. I will do it by myself just to show you how it works. So let me move the gun a bit around because it's in the middle of the screen. There we go. So that's the player there. It's even more in the middle of the screen. There we go. That's the player, and if I edit the object, I can see that there are a bunch of behaviors there already on the left. So let's just add a behavior and use the one that we've been told about, which is air jump for 3D. Let me search for it. Yeah, there we go. It's there, the second choice, Coyote time and air jump for 3D. So we add it to the object, and that's the behavior that is already there on the left, and I can customize the settings. The fun thing is that I don't myself as the GDevelop creator, I'm not even sure how this behavior is made, because it was made by the community or by someone from the team. I can't remember who exactly. It's you can know this by opening the extension there. So you see there are a bunch of people who contributed to the extension, and this has been done not by myself, not by I mean, I've not been involved, but I can use it because it's just easy to use and fairly simple. When I say fairly simple, it just works. I can add a few number of air jumps, like 4, and now if I run again the game, I will be able to jump multiple times in the air. So that's pretty much it, and you can see that the enemies are making a mess of the level there. So yeah, please always think of searching for behaviors, because it's one of the easiest way to get your game prototyped or starting in a very quick way, and you can always rework them later. We should probably think about what we do next. We could make the enemies jump when they are close to me. We could add some health to them. We could make the player sprint. So again, click the link that's pinned in the chat to vote for the next mechanic, and we'll wait a few minutes for while you vote. So go for it now and see what we do next. Actually, you know what? I wonder if I could have been asking the AI to do it for me. So what I will do is I will, while you vote about what we do next, I'm saving it, and I will go back to the previous save. And I can check there that it's the old save because the player, well, first the gun is in the middle, and also the player is not having the behavior, and I can ask it to do it for me on the player, and 6 air jumps please, and I will switch to build, and I will let the AI do it. So that's it. That was simple even for the AI. You see, it just added the behavior that I've added before, except that I didn't have to search for it, and then it changed the number of air jumps to 6. And we can check, yeah, it's there, it's just there. So actually I can continue working from this version. I will save and overwrite my other save. Okay, there we go. So in case something went wrong, I can always go back to the previous save. But you can see there that it's the new save that I've just made. What I wanted to tell, oh yeah, of course I knew about this air jump behavior, but if you didn't know about it, the AI would have been helpful there, because you just had to ask, how can I make some multiple air jumps, and then just to ask to do it. So that would have been working too. And we will continue with the next task. Let me check, it's still working. Yeah. I must fly in the air because I have so many air jumps that I can do. All right. So next, so yeah, again, it's a good time to tell you about this discount code that we're sharing right now in the chat. I'm telling it again because it's 20% off, and it will only work for the next day. So you have 24 hours to use it, because it's 20%, so it's a fair amount of discount, and that will help you to use the features that I'm showing right now, which is AI, cloud projects, or publishing the game to Android, iOS, or desktop. And you can, of course, share your game on the GD.games website at any time. You don't need a subscription for it, but for the rest, it's a good idea to have a gold subscription. Is the one where you get the most value for notably in terms of AI credits. And if you really want a lot of them, you should go for the pro one, but gold is usually enough for a week of work. And the next mechanic is the smooth zoom aim. All player can be hurt. Well, let's make the zoom smooth, because we will use the twinning, which can be a bit fun. And you know it's a very raw right now. So let's do this first, and then we will make the player to be hurt when it's touched by an enemy. So for this, so again I'm saving. I'm always having the habit of saving, and I can open a new chat for the AI. So my idea is to add the twin behavior to the gun. And then instead of just changing the position, we will twin the position between the old and the new position. And we will then add the rotation later. So let me check how to do it. I will ask again the AI to do it because I've just described how to do it. So let's add a twin behavior to the gun and replace the actions to where are the actions? They are in aiming group by a twin of let's say 0.2 seconds for each of them, position X, Y, and that should be enough. That should be enough, and it should hopefully use a proper name for each twin, so that I can press or release the key, and then it should then adapt run the twin to move the position of the gun. And also the camera field of view, I forgot about it. We will add a twin for this, so we also zooming or unzooming smoothly. So let's check what the AI is doing. It's asking to change the twin actions for both events. Well, to change the position actions by twin, the twin equivalent. Let's wait for it to do it. And for the camera field of view, which is doing the zoom, we'll make a new variable that we will twin for this. Okay, so that's done for the first one, and we should get the work done for the second one in a bit. So again, you can see that we are twinning the X, Y, and Z position of the gun over a few, well, less than half a second. That should be, so that should be fast. And the second one should come in a bit. Maybe the AI is having a difficulty with the second one, in which case it's not a problem because I have the first one done already, so I can copy paste it. And I see that time is running, so next thing that you will vote for will be the last one for this session, because it's because time is running. Somehow it seems that the AI is a bit stuck there, so I'm out of luck today with technical issues, it seems, but that's okay. Let me save at least for now so that it's done already, and let me pause it. Yeah, it was doing good work, so I'm not sure what it didn't work, but that's fine. I will just copy paste this and redo it by myself. That's the good thing with GDevelop, you can choose to do it on your own or not. So when the control key is not pressed, we will go to the initial position, and when it's pressed, I will replace start by the aiming position. So it's just like before, except that we added the twin behavior, and we are changing the field of view. So if I'm not mistaken, we should see the gun moving smoothly. It's already better, right? It's already better. Looks a bit more like a real game, but you can see the field of view is changing way too fast. So for this, I will do it on my own. We will do the same, but by adding a variable for the field of view. So I open the gun again, and there I'm adding a new variable, which is field of view. Actually, I'm not forced to do it there. Maybe it's not the best position, the best place. Let me check what we could do for twinning. What could we twin? So that's where you have really a choice in what you want to, how you want to do. We can twin any variable. So what I started to do was fine. Let's do it this way. I add a new variable there, which is the field of view. When you're aiming, this field of view should be 30, and when you're in the start position, so not aiming, the field of view should be 45. And that's this object variable that we will twin. And I'm totally mistaken because I'm thinking about it right now. We're just twinning a variable. We're not twinning the end and start value. So I have a variable that is not used there that I can call current field of view. Bear with me, I think you will understand where I'm going. I can remove this variable, it's useless. So that's this variable, field of view, current field of view, that we want to twin. We will call it the field of view twin, and we will go from 30. Well, we'll go to 30 when we're aiming, and in 0.2 seconds. So if we take a step back, and let me zoom a bit so you can take a look at this. When we are not aiming, we are twinning the variable to 45, and when we're aiming, we're twinning the variable to 40. Of course, this is just a variable, so this won't impact the actual view. So we need a last event, which is to change the camera field of view so that it's always at the value of the gun variable called current field of view. And it will be 30 at the beginning, 45, sorry, at the beginning, and it will twin to 30. Let me check the default value. That should be 45. Yeah, that's better. So you can see that now it's smoothly zooming in and out. Not a huge change. The advantage of what we've done is you can now quickly change this by changing the object variables. So there I'm editing the object, and I'm not even forced, you know, to open the object editor. I can just move stuff there, and I could zoom a bit more, for example, by changing the variables or changing the position. And I should use the variable there to be using all the variables that I've created. This makes the events a bit harder to read, right? But that's why you can put them in groups, and why using variable is helpful. Then you can, you know, you can tweak your game by just changing the variables. So for example, the field of view could be a bit smaller. Let's try something less than 25, and I never really tried. Yeah, it's way more zoomed. It's actually a bit harder. Well, it's okay. Depending on the weapon, can be different. So that's also the useful thing with variables. If I was making multiple guns there, I could then change the events so that we are picking the gun that is the currently active one. We could have the same event but using a group containing all the weapons, and the event will work the same. You replace gun by weapon, the name of the group, and then you add a condition to check if any weapon is active. And to check if a weapon is active, well, you can use a variable on it. Okay, the next mechanic is the last one. Let's check in the chat. Let's please vote using the link in the chat if it's not done already. And we should make the last setting, the last mechanic for today. I want to thank you people, people who are commenting on social medias, who are sharing what they do in the community, who are sharing extensions, who are sharing. Recently, I've seen this beautiful mock-up of a different interface for GDevelop, and all of us, they are very helpful. We are still, a small core team working on GDevelop with open source contribution, and so all the feedback, we're always reading all the feedback that we can to see what's the best thing we can work on next, trying to find a balance between what's super helpful, like the 3D editor, for example, which is something that is so good to have now. Like for 3D game, it's just what we needed, and between what we also want to discover or to try, or things that are making GDevelop a bit unique. So the link is pinned in the chat. If you've not voted already, it's time to do it. This is the last call for the discount code. To remember that it's only available for 1 day, so it will work 2 days after the chat. Well, it's already working right now during the live stream, and it won't work in 24 hours. So be sure to use it if you want to grab a subscription, and that's of course very helpful too for us as the GDevelop company, so that we know what's interesting for people, and to make sure that people can use all the cloud features that we are building around GDevelop, and that and you also get credits every month when you're having a premium membership, which means that these credits, you can use them for the asset store, for templates or assets. Okay, so the last mechanic is player can be hurt, which is something fun, because for now it's not a real game if you cannot really die. Well, you can get pushed out of the map, so in a way it's a bit the case. So what we will do is, let's go back to the 2D view, and I will add a life health bar so that we can see the health of the player. So let me search for what we could display on the screen. Let's go for this nice bar, and I think I'm on the wrong layer. Let me put it on the mobile controls layer. There we go. So that's a good start, and as usual, I can show how the AI will do it. How would you add health and display it on screen for my player? Let's ask it, and I will do it anyway because I know how to do it. Well, I think I know. Yes, the first thing is to go on the player object, and there is a bunch of behaviors, and we will add the health behavior, and that's exactly what the AI told me. Add the health behavior to the player object, and then it has noticed that I've added this bar there, so we can link it together using the events. And it's telling me even the exact parameters to use. So as before, I could switch to build and ask the AI to do it. I have a lot of AI credits on this account because it's my account where I have a gold membership, and I have on the gold membership I have 1,000 AI credits every week, so I've not even used half of them, and even way less since I started the live stream. Anyway, let's do it by ourselves. Let's add the health behavior as we got told, and there we go. 100 life points is a lot. We will make 3 of them, and we will start with 3 because there are 3 of them on the bar, but there could have been more or less. That's fine. Let's make the bar to have the value of the health of the player, because right now I just added the health behavior on the player, but it's not something that is linked to the interface. So for this, I will add a new event there. I will create a new group actually, but that's we are a bit out of time, so let me do it without a group. And I will add an action. I also can right click to keep my flow uninterrupted, and I will change the value of the bar. There is the value somewhere there, and I want it to be set to the player health, and the AI on the right is telling me what to do. So we take the player and we use the health behavior, and we take the current value of the health. So now if I run the game, the bar should be at 3. And for now it's not changing, because when I'm being touched by an enemy, then nothing is happening. So we will do something like this to change it. By the way, I could ask the AI too. Cool. How would you get the player hurt when touched by an enemy? And I will do it by checking if the player is in collision with the enemy, and if it's the case, I want to do it just once, because otherwise I will decrease very quickly my health. Okay, so turns out that I forgot that I was in the build mode, and it has been doing the thing for me. Alright, I wasn't expecting this, but that's okay. It actually created the event for me while I was creating it. So I can remove mine, I can add the trigger once that I started to add, and I can change 10 is too much because we only have 3 life points, so I would just remove 1 point of damage to the player. So if the AI was not doing it for me, it would have been fairly simple to do it. I add an action, I take the player, and then I search for the health extension. It's a big object, so there is a lot of stuff. You can see there heal objects, but what I want is damage the object, and just there, apply damage, and I can there enter the points of damage to do, which is the same thing that we have already there. Let's double check it's working. Yeah, my God, I have a lot of them already, and I'm done. I'm out of already. Surely a cooldown will be good, but that's something that you can modify in the I can put 1 second in the behavior by itself. There are a few questions in the chat. Can we extend a subscription that you have with the code? So if you have a subscription already, the code is just a discount when you're paying for a new one. So if you want to take advantage of it, you can cancel the one that you have. It will expire at the end of the period. If you paid for 1 month, you get it until the end of the month. If you really want to pay now, then you can cancel it, and you can pay for a new one directly. So that another good question was how many credits this game would have been using. I think I started at 800 credits, maybe a bit more, but not more than, for now I've not used more than 200 credits for asking these questions and getting the AI to do it. It really depends. Sometimes you're lucky, the AI is able to do things quickly or to find a good behavior. Sometimes you're a bit unlucky, like the last time where I asked it to add the twin, it worked first and then it got stuck for some reason. But even when it's getting stuck like this, you can still pause it and retry it. That's also why we've created these credits, so that you can have a try and credits they're replenished. You're getting the credits, the AI credits back every week on the Sunday evening. So on every Monday you're getting back all the credits for a week. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that we've used less than 100 credits. So if you're using it like I'm doing for an hour in the evening or for the whole day, well, if it's for just a few hours a day, gold subscription should be fine. If you're working with AI for the whole day, I would strongly suggest to use the pro subscription. And if you're really a very intensive user of it, if you're running out of AI credits, you can still use the usual credits on your account. And so if you want to, you can always continue working with it. And note that you can also earn some of these credits if you're a new user by following us on socials and then claiming these credits in your profile. You can do it directly from the home page using your profile there. If you edit your profile and enter your socials, and if you follow us, we'll be glad to give you a bit of credits as a thank you. So yeah, remind everyone one last time about the code, discount code. It's in the chat. Grab it now because it will only work for 1 day, and I think that's it. The player is not really dying, so I just made this health, but there is nothing really happening when you're dying. So let me quickly do it. We could do some invisibility frames, but because we don't have time, I could also add a power up, or you know what, let's try it anyway. Add a 3D model of Earth in the level. When picked up by the player, please give it the full health. Back 3 life points to keep things simple. And let's ask it to do it. And while it's doing it, I will do something else, which is to add a new event. And if the player is not having any life points anymore, then we will do something which is we will do something once. So I'm adding a once trigger there, and I'm adding an action which is to wait for, let's say, 1 second, and we will restart the scene. So for this, I want to use the restart. We want to change the scene. Change the scene to go to the same scene so that we restart it. And let's see if in the meantime AI has done what I asked it. Yeah, so there we go. We have a new object there. You can see it in 3D, in all its 3D glory. There we go. It's the new power up. I'm putting it somewhere, maybe somewhere safe in the level. There we go. A bit higher. There we go. And so I'm just quickly checking what the AI has been doing while I was speaking. Created the object, it added some behavior, and then it added it on the level, and then it created some event so that when you're touching it, you're getting back your health points. Let's check this. I'm getting hurt, and now I'm picking it, and I'm getting back the 3 life points that I had at the beginning. and if I'm losing all the health points, then the scene will restart. Of course, a good transition, a slowdown effect would have been better, but again, we're out of time, and I wanted so much to do it, but that will be for next time. So you could have been using a transition with a shape painter, and you could use a time scale to reduce the time. We will share this game on our social media and maybe by email also later. For power users, it's something that you probably know how to do it. If you're a new user, I hope that you've learned some stuff there, how to create enemies, how to create this life bar, how to change the aim of a gun in a FPS like this one. I'm sorry about the audio issues that we had in the beginning. We wanted to stream also on other platforms, but it didn't work. We will get better next time. And what else? Yeah, I think we're done. Thanks for joining. Again, please continue to get involved in the community. We're trying to read every single message, every single feedback that we're getting. There is a lot to do on GDevelop, so if you are skilled with GDevelop, you can always create, share examples, create new extensions, you can create behaviors. What else? You can create tutorials. You can also help us to improve the documentation. And finally, if you know how to code, you can also help us to develop GDevelop itself, because it's open source. And all the game engine is open source. This 3D editor is actually the game itself running, and we've been making all of this on GitHub. So if you're a developer or want to get involved, you can. Let's finish there. I'm saving it and checking. Yeah, I made only 10 saves, more or less, since we started, so I'm fairly happy. Yeah, if you want to share a game, if you've never used GDevelop, it's the first time you're joining for a game creation session like this, sharing with GDevelop is a matter of clicking on one button so that you can share your game on GDevelop own indie platform. And that's fairly quick, and you get a link that works directly. With a subscription, you can also, or even without one, you can try the Android and the desktop exports. And with a subscription, you get tons of exports every day, so you can share on your Android phone. Well, you can try it on your Android phone, and you can also publish it on the Play Store. With a gold subscription, and if you have an Apple account and if you pay the Apple fee, you can also publish on iOS. And for desktop, if you want to publish on things like itch.io on Steam, the one-click packaging for desktop is fine. Thank you again, everyone. We will end the stream there. Hopefully next time you will see my face and a beautiful interface, but right now I had to change at the last minute the stream so that you can hear me. And yeah, thanks everyone for joining.